welcome to the video. So today we are going to start unit number 4 of technical communication. So the first topic in this, we are going to see how do you assess yourself for interview, or in other words I will clarify you by saying that preparing for interview. Okay, so how could you prepare yourself for an interview? So before going for an interview, you must understand who you are and what you can do and what do you want from that. Okay, so I'll tell you in detail about it. So you should be aware of your strength, your qualities, or your achievements that makes you more valuable. Like if I give an example here, it is written over here is communication or problem solving or teamwork. So this is an example. So everybody is unique and they have their own and their own skills and own qualities. So you need to analyze yours. Okay, so you need to know about your weakness, where the area where you need to improve yourself. Let's suppose the example here given is time management, public speaking. Okay, so if someone is lagging behind how to manage your time, so that can be your area where you need to improve yourself. Also, if I talk about public speaking, so there are people who get afraid about speaking in public, or you can say they are scared of confronting people. So you need to work on these areas where you are where you are weak. Also, if you just give this, I mean if you show this in your interview, and if you give a very big statement like I am weak around this area, but still I'm improving and still I'm learning, so this can give a positive impression towards the interviewer who is conducting your interview, by thinking that this person has tendency to learn something, improving. So yeah, this is your chances of selection. Okay, so identify your goals. So what do you want, what is your goal, I mean what do you want to achieve in your life? That is, you want a short term goal or do you have a long term goal? So whatever career plans do you have, you need to be prepared about it. Also, you should know your values. When you just enter a job, so you should be aware of what matters to you. You want stability or you want creativity, do you want growth? So obviously all these factors everybody need, that's why you are being here. Okay, so match your skills to the job. Actually, if you're going for an interview, it will actually help you in answering those questions about tell me about yourself and why should we hire you. If you're really clear about your technical skills, then you are really able to answer this question which I just now said. Okay, so if I talk about drafting and effective resume, so how could you draft a resume for yourself? So resume is a short summary. First of all, let me explain about it. So it is a short summary about your education skills and about your experience and what you have learned throughout your journey. Okay, and the qualities of resumes, it should be neat and short and clear, so that your chances of getting selected of your resume is more. Also, if I talk about how could you actually present your resume, how could you actually draft it, so it should be a one page, because at times what happen, people actually make it of 3 or 4 pages, which is really difficult for people to read the entire page. So it should be concise and clear. So if you're a fresher, then it should be only one page, and you can use some fonts which I have mentioned here. So you should avoid paragraphs. Okay, you don't have to like wrong paragraphs about yourself. Okay, you should be concise about it. So the structure of resume, if you need to add some information about yourself, from where they can contact you. If you can, in which you can write your name, about your email address, your phone number. If you have a very good profile, then you can actually add a LinkedIn profile, or whichever platform you are, your profile is really great, you can mention it above, so that the interviewer just get you in once. Okay, so if we talk about career objectives, so it should be about 2 to 3 lines about your goals. I mean, what do you want? And just now earlier I have to need to tell about your career. Okay, what do you want to become, what is your main goal about it? Okay, if I talk about education, so you need to add about your degree. You can, if you have a very good percentage or GP in your college, then you can mention it. You can write the year in which you have passed out. Okay, and if you have obviously And the next thing should is gone. Okay, so you have to mention about your soft skills and technical skills. So basically, if I tell you the difference between soft and technical, soft skills are the skills which actually tells about your personality. If I talk about communication, or if we talk about your gesture, these skills are really mandatory for any interview, because these skills actually plays an important role. If you actually know technical skills but you don't know soft skill, chances for you to get select, because the soft skill people may like ignore it, but you don't have to ignore. So if I talk about what is technical skills, so technical skills are the skills which you need to learn for us, like for a particular job. If you want to become a data scientist, if you want to become a data analyst, if you want to become a machine learner, so these are the skills you need to learn them. They are not like soft skills which everybody should know about it. Okay, so if I talk about projects and internship, if you have ever done anything projects, I mean whatever projects you have done according to that role, so you can just provide them in your resume. Also you can uh, tell you about the internships where you have got intern, so it actually gives a very positive impression towards yourself. Also whatever you have achieved, what are your achievements, or you can say what certificate you have got. Okay, so let me tell you one thing: certificate does matter, but skills matter more than certificate. Okay, and if you are actually, if hobbies are really meaningful, like not, I'm not talking about those hobbies which you actually do in your day to day life, but something related to your work. Those hobbies you can actually write them, or interest of that role, so you can definitely mention them. So if you talk about dress decorum, so what is decorum? That means it is everybody, you know, you have must heard about please maintain the decorum. Decorum is means silence, or you can say a peace around. So dressing decorum means, I mean, how do you need to dress decent in front of your interviewer and professionally, so you create a very good impression at first. Also, if I'll tell you about it in detail, for men's you can just wear a light color t-shirt, and also you can wear dark trousers. Also you can polish, or you need to polish your shoes, also trim your hair. For girls, if they want to wear westerns or traditional, doesn't matter, it's their choice. So they can wear formal shirt or kurta, or their pants, or you know, their pants beneath their, you know, kurta, or they can wear salwar. Okay, so if I talk about makeup, they can just put minimal makeup and simple accessories. Okay, so you need to be really dressed like simple and elegant. So if I talk about general rules, so you need to clean clothes. Your clothes should be very clean. You know, flashy colors, I mean the colors which actually flash. Okay, so no strong perfume, so you need to be confident and tidy. Okay, so if I talk about delivery techniques, I mean how do you need to deliver your speech and answers. So you need to speak slowly and clearly, and use short sentences and maintain positive tone, and avoid, you know, fillers like you know, you have to avoid them. And your answer should have a structure, and that structure should follow introduction. First you need to give the introduction about it, then you can give explanation, then you can give an example, and then you can end up by conclusion about saying that topic. So if I talk about techniques for handling interview, so before interview, research the company. If you are going for an interview, you should be aware of that company. Okay, prepare answer to common questions, some question which are often asked by interview and in your interview, so that at that time you are being prepared for it, and you need to practice your introduction. Okay, so during your interview, that means you have already done the part, you have already gone through the stage where you have gone through before interview. Now it's time for when you are sitting in the interview. So when your interview is going on, you need to you need to listen carefully. Also you need to answer very confidently, and you can ask question politely whatever you want to ask. After, when you are going to end up your interview, then you need to actually thank the interview, and also say stay calm and positive. Okay, so if I talk about your non-verbal communication, in which you don't use your words but you use your actions or body language. So your body speaks even what you do. I mean, I have already told you the importance of this that 20% role plays your speaking skill. Rest of the things actually plays your non-verbal communication. Okay, so if I talk about importance, so you need to maintain an eye contact. This shows you are really confident about it. The posture should be straight so that it shows you are interested. Also, you need to smile politely. That shows you are ready friendliness. Also, your hand movements, I mean, they really plays an important roles because your behavior tells you that you're really interested. Also, that shows your control and nature. And a handshake that's like not too tight, it should be really firm, means in a polite way. Nodding shows you are listening. Okay, now if I talk about handling turbulence during interviews, so turbulence over here refers to difficult moments. So you don't need to, if you don't know the answer of anything, okay, you got a technical error, you got nervous, and you experience a tough and unexpected question. So what you can do is, if you need to stay positive at that time, you need to take pause. Also, you can admit them honestly that you don't know the answer of this question, and you can actually redirect yourself on what you know about. And you have to take a deep breath there and ask for clarification if you haven't understood the question well. And if you don't know, you can admit it honestly. You don't need to panic and maintain a small smile. Okay, so group discussions checks how do you think, speak, and work in a group. So their objective is to check how do you actually communicate in a group, how is your leadership, how is your teamwork, how is your logical thinking, and how current affairs knowledge, I mean, how are you aware about the knowledge around your ambience. Also, if I talk about methods and focus, so first thing, you need to listen carefully, and you need to be really confident if you are if you are sitting in a group discussion. Support your points with an example. Stay calm and respectful. Okay, so this is a method, and these are the focus tips you need to focus when you are sitting in a group discussion. So, group discussion content. Your content must be relevant, logical, and supported by facts, real example, short and clear. So, when you're sitting in a group discussion, you need to be relevant. I mean, whatever you're going to talk about the topic, it should be relevant, it should not go out of tangent. Also, if I talk about, it should be logical, it should have a very good facts which actually clarify by giving a real life examples. Also, it should be short and concise. So if I talk about style and argumentation skills, so be polite even when you're disagreeing. If something which actually triggers you and which you're not able to accept it, you have to be polite at that time too. So I have an example for you, so you can use like lines. I respect your point, but I feel whatever you feel like, and you can add what you want to say. Okay, so if you want to actually, if you are disagreeing with someone, then you can actually add your main point by saying that I respect your point, but I actually want to add on something. Then you can add your point and present argument with logic. If you're actually disagreeing with someone, then you actually need to say a very positive sentence, and then you can say a point which will be actually logical and professional. Presentation where you need to present yourself. So a good presentations have information, also it keeps them engaging, also it's them. So if you visual presentation, so individual presentation where you are individually presenting your presentation, where you already are being aware of your audience and you already know who is listening to you. You need to use simple language and maintain an eye contact. So if we talk about body language, so you need to be stand straight and move naturally and use your hand gesture for emphasizing something, and smile and stay confident. And delivery, so you need to speak your message clearly. You don't have to read from slides, use pauses, keep slides simple. So if you have to present something, like now even I am also presenting this page, right? So basically what you have to do, you have to be very clear about it. And also you don't have to read the slides. I mean, if I give you my example, so right now I am just telling you, I'm just reading a point. Just now I just read speak clearly, that means I'm also explaining it. So if I'm just giving a presentation, then I have to speak clearly. Okay, and I have don't have to read points. Okay, so I have to be emphasizing towards what I'm saying. Also, I have to take pauses when I'm speaking so that the people who is listening me the people who are listening me gets connection with me. Also keep slides small, like just like not so short that you're able to understand. They are concise and up to the mark. Also, if I talk about content, so it should have introduction, it should have main points, examples, and conclusion. Call to action is optional. I'll explain what is call to action, but let me talk about introduction. So if I'm just explaining you about this topic, what is this professional in presentation? Okay, so if I have given you introduction, what is about what is professional presentation. I have given the main points. Also, I have explained you with examples, like I have given my real life example that right now I'm presenting. Call to action is optional. Your presentation is about something you are selling, it is an advertisement, so you can actually add call to action. So a call to action actually refers to, I mean, you are advertising about something. Okay, so you want your audience to just get it. So what you will say then, just buy now, order it, and you will give the directional. You can go to a particular website and you can grab it from there. So call to action is basically for advertisement. If you're actually presenting something in which you're actually giving an advertisement about something, so then you can actually use call to action. There's no issues, but it is actually optional. Okay, so but organization, within your organization, if you're presenting something, then you don't need it. But if you're doing with your client, then you can obviously use it, because you will actually want to promote something. So yeah, that's it for today's video. So the entire unit is completed. I hope you like and enjoy it. Bye.